Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I've put this one together for anyone who specifically suffers from lower back pain. It's definitely something that I end up with after a long bike ride. So if that sounds like the kind of thing for you, this class is going to be specifically focused on activating the core, drawing length into the lower back and stretching out the hamstrings just to give you that little bit of relief in the lower back. And we're going to go ahead and get started in a reclined position. So coming down onto the back, and we're going to start by inhaling, drawing the knees into the chest. And with the exhale, we're going to take the hands wide, knees come down to the right. Inhaling, drawing the knees back into the chest, and with the exhale, taking the knees over to the left. Inhaling, taking them back up to center, and with the exhale, straightening the legs, taking the feet up to the sky. Inhaling, drawing the feet down towards the floor, sending them back up. And then inhaling, feet coming down, tucking into the chest. With the exhale, once more, knees come down to the right. Inhaling, drawing the knees back into center. Exhaling, rolling them down to the left. Inhaling, knees coming into the chest. And then exhaling, drawing the legs long. On the inhale, lowering the feet, straightening the legs. Back up to center. And then inhaling, drawing the feet down, maybe taking hold of the shins and taking a little rock from left to right, loosening the lower back, giving a little massage against the mat. We're going to take the hands under the hamstrings and then rocking and rolling all along the length of the spine here, building up a little bit of momentum. And we're going to come all the way over into either a seated position, or I'm going to come over into a kneeling position. So you want to make sure it's a place that's comfortable for you. And this is quite deep on the knees and the hips, so you can take Sukhasana easy pose, like cross-legged, or you can sit with the feet out in front. But we're just going to do some gentle waking up of the spine, so finding a cat-cow movement in a seated position. And for that, we're going to inhale, opening the chest, lifting the face, and then with the exhale, we're going to curl the back under, tucking the chin under. Inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, curling the chin under, tucking the tailbone. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, tucking everything in. And then one last time, inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, coming to a neutral spine. And we're going to take our hands down onto the mat, stepping back into our tabletop. And from here, we're going to press the hands down, tucking the toes, lifting the knees just an inch or so off of the mat. And we're going to start moving into some core work here. So with a big inhale, we're going to reach the left foot all the way back. Exhaling, tucking the knee into the chest, pressing down into the hands. And then inhaling, extending the leg, reaching through the heel. Exhaling, knee to chest, pressing down into the hands. Inhaling, extending the foot back one last time. And then exhaling, tucking it in, pressing down into the hands, squeezing the abs to lift the knee higher. Exhaling, stepping both feet all the way back into our plank pose. One big inhale here. And then exhaling, taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog, and just allowing yourself to pedal the legs out, lifting one heel at a time and allowing the hips to rise and fall. And then coming to a place of stillness. Coming to a place of stillness. On the inhale, we're going to bend the knees deeply, looking to the space in between the hands. Exhaling, stepping forwards into our forward fold. And from here, we're going to take a little bend to the knees, resting the tummy on the tops of the thighs. Maybe taking hold of each hand. And lastly, just tucking the chin and allowing a gentle sway from left to right if that feels good. On the next inhale, we're going to take the hands up overhead. Exhaling, hands down to the sides into our mountain pose. From here, we're going to inhale, reaching up overhead. Exhaling, folding forwards. With the inhale, taking the hands to the shins, lifting the chest halfway. And then exhaling, planting the hands, stepping all the way back to plank. And we're just taking one inhale here. With the exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat, taking the hands behind. On the inhale, we're going to lift the chest, the hands, the feet, staying up for the exhale. And then inhaling, seeing if you can lift them higher. Exhaling everything down to the mat and pressing the hands in. We're going to take the hips all the way back into our child's pose and drawing the knees together here. So keeping the knees close and folding down forwards onto the mat. And it just allows you to bring a little bit of space into the lower back when you keep the knees together in your child's pose. Taking a deep inhale here. When you're ready, coming back up into our tabletop pose, taking the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tucking the toes. With the exhale, sending the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lifting the left foot all the way up behind. And exhaling, taking the foot in between the hands. We're going to lower the right knee down, untucking the toes. Inhaling, lifting the hands up overhead into our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. With the exhale, taking the hands to the inside of the left foot. We're going to spin on the back toes, turning to the right, coming into our left side Skandasana. Inhaling, turning back to the front, dropping the right knee down, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands inside of the left foot, turning to the right, opening up into our left side Skandasana. And one more time, turning on the inhale, reaching the hands up overhead into our low lunge. Exhaling, both hands down to the mat, tuck the toes behind. We're going to take a little rock backwards and forwards. And then when you're ready, taking all the weight into the left foot, straightening the leg, lifting the right foot behind. Maybe the hands come off of the mat, finding our warrior three, drawing the shoulder blades together, finding the balance point. And then with the next exhale, the hands come down to the floor, squeezing the glutes to lift the right foot higher and tucking the chin, drawing the chest towards the left leg, feeling the release all through the back of the left leg here. One more inhale. And then with the exhale, drawing the right knee in towards the chest. We're going to keep the right foot off of the mat as we lift the hands, taking the chest upright until we're standing upright just on the left leg. And then taking the left hand outside of the right knee. With an inhale, we're going to sweep the right hand all the way back, finding a gentle twist at the waist. Breathing into the twist. Keeping the breath nice, steady, and calm. With the next exhale, taking the right hand forward once more. We're going to step all the way back into our high lunge. Inhaling, reaching the hands up overhead. Exhaling, taking the hands down to the mat, stepping back to plank. Taking just the one inhale here. Exhaling, lowering to chaturanga. Inhaling, lifting the chest upward facing dog. And then exhaling, taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. One big inhale here. And then with the exhale, taking the knees down to the mat, untucking the toes. And we're going to take that again on the other side now. So with a big inhale, we're going to lift the knees just slightly off of the mat. And on the next inhale, we're reaching the right foot all the way back, reaching through the heel. Exhaling, taking the knee into the chest, pressing the hands down into the mat. Inhaling, reaching back. Exhaling, drawing the knee in, pressing the hands down. Inhaling and extending. Exhaling, drawing the knee in, squeezing the abs to lift it higher. And then exhaling, taking the feet down to the mat. We're going to step back, taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. And once again, just taking a gentle pedal of the legs. Maybe taking some yeses and nos of the head. Releasing any tension in the neck. Then on a big inhale, bending the knees deeply, looking to the space in between the hands. We're going to exhale, stepping forwards into our forward fold. From here, we're going to bend the left knee. Inhaling, reaching the right hand upwards. Exhaling, right hand down. Inhaling, bending the right knee. Lifting the left hand upwards. Exhaling, both hands down to the mat. On the next inhale, taking both hands up overhead. Exhaling, both hands down to the sides into our mountain pose. One more time, inhaling, drawing the hands up overhead. Exhaling, folding forwards with the inhale, lifting the chest halfway. Exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back into our plank pose. One big inhale here. Exhaling, lowering halfway. Inhaling, lifting the chest, upward facing dog. And then exhaling, taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. This time on the inhale, lifting the right foot all the way up behind. Exhaling, taking the foot in between the hands, lowering the left knee. On the inhale, lifting the hands up overhead, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And then with the exhale, taking the hands On the inside of the right foot, we're turning to the right, lowering into our right side Skandasana. Inhaling, drawing the hands to the front, lifting them up overhead. And then exhaling, hands inside of the right foot, turning to the left, Skandasana. One more time. On the inhale, reaching upwards. Exhaling, turning to the left, finding our right side Skandasana. And now turning to the front, Anjaneyasana on the inhale. Now, turning to the front, we're going to lift the back knee, taking a gentle rock backwards and forwards, building the momentum, and then finally seeing about taking all the weight into the right foot, extending the right leg long, lifting the back leg behind. Maybe the hands come to prayer at the heart center. Drawing the shoulder blades together, straightening the back. Breathing in deeply in our warrior three. With the exhale, taking the hands down to the floor. We're going to squeeze the glutes to lift the left leg as high as it'll go behind us, and drawing the chest towards the right leg, tucking the chin. With the exhale, drawing the left knee into the chest, finding the balance here, releasing the hands from the floor, keeping the foot off of the floor as we come to stand upright. I'm going to shuffle back on the mat a little bit here, but we're back in our upright position with our foot off the floor. And we can take our right hand to the outside of the left knee. With the inhale, drawing the left hand back, turning to the left, feeling a gentle twist at the waist. Breathing into the belly, allowing the twist to lengthen the spine, drawing space into the lower back. On the next inhale, sweeping the left foot forwards again. And we're going to inhale, taking the left foot all the way back, reaching the hands up into our high lunge. Breathing in deeply here. Exhaling, taking the hands down to the mat, stepping back into plank. One big inhale here, and with the exhale we're going to bend the knees, taking the hips back and then up into our downward facing dog. On the inhale we're going to roll the hips all the way as high as they'll go, and then taking them forwards till we find ourselves in our plank pose again. Exhaling, sending the hips back and up. Inhaling, rolling everything forwards into our plank. Exhaling, taking the hips back and up into down dog. And then one last time, inhaling, drawing everything forwards before lowering the knees down to the mat and sitting back onto the heels. We're going to take one last twist here, and it's going to be a shoelace twist. And this can be quite intense. So you've also got the option to sit cross-legged here. But if you want to take a full shoelace, we're going to start with our left leg on the bottom. So pointing your left knee forwards, we're going to take the right foot over the top so that the right knee sits on top of the left knee, everything pointing forwards. And we've got the option here to flex the feet. With an inhale, we're going to take the hands up overhead And then exhaling, taking the right hand back and the left hand comes here so that we can rest the left hand against the top leg, twisting to the right. Breathing into the belly. On the next inhale, turning back to the front, so maybe just taking the left hand behind. We're going to take our right hand over to the left side now, twisting to the left. Inhaling back to center, we're going to take a spin so we've got the opposite legs on top and bottom. So to do this, you can just swap your legs over, or you can take the hands down to the mat and lift your hips up off the floor. And this time we're going to turn to the left, so keeping the feet on the side that they started, sinking the hips down, and we should be in our shoelace on the other side. So if it doesn't quite work out, you can just swap the legs over. But again, option to flex the feet. Taking a deep breath, releasing any tension in the hips. On the inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. This time on the exhale, taking the left hand back, right hand forwards. Allowing that right arm to rest against the top leg and just pull you a little deeper into the twist. Maybe tucking the chin. Breathing into the belly. With every exhale, releasing any tension in the back or the hips. Inhaling, turning back to center, taking the right hand behind this time. Left hand comes over to the right, and we're going to twist to the right. Coming back to center, uncrossing the legs. We're going to take both feet out in front and just take a gentle windscreen wiper of the knees. So just allowing any tension in the hips to relax. And we're going to slowly make our way back to where we started, so back to a reclined position. Coming down gently onto the back and tucking our knees into the chest. Taking a deep inhale, maybe closing down the eyes. With the exhale, drawing the hands wide and allowing the knees to come down to the right. And this time we're going to allow them to stay there. Settling into the pose. Breathing into the belly. And drawing your attention to any sensations in the hips and the shoulders. And just with every exhale, allowing them to relax a little bit more. One more inhale here. And then with the next inhale, drawing the knees back into the chest. We're going to exhale, sending them over to the left side this time. And just noticing the little differences between one side and the other. Drawing the attention once again to the breath. Feeling how the twist changes the condition of it a little bit. Maybe it feels a little harder to fill the belly. Or maybe the twist just draws our attention to it. On the next inhale, taking the knees back into the chest, taking the hands around them. One last time, taking a gentle rock from side to side. Maybe pulling the knees in one at a time, taking that little massage to the lower back before extending the legs long and finding our final resting pose, Shavasana.